If you want to know what actually separates low-scoring candidates from high-scoring candidates in TOEFL writing, this video is for you. It's not just vocabulary, it's not just grammar, and it's definitely not about writing more words. The difference comes down to knowing exactly what each task requires and delivering it in a way the TOEFL examiners are looking for. High-scoring candidates don't write and hope for the best. They know what to do in each task. They know how to structure their responses. And they know how to use language that gives the TOEFL examiners exactly what they want to see. We've helped thousands of students prepare this way through our TOEFL packages. They discover how strategic preparation can make a real difference in their results. In this video, you'll get 10 essential tips for all 3 TOEFL writing tasks. Build a sentence, write an email, and write for an academic discussion. By the end, you'll know how to prepare for the TOEFL writing test. If you have been struggling with TOEFL writing, keep watching. This video might be exactly what you have been looking for. The first tip is to make sure you know exactly what each writing task is asking you to do before you start preparing. This sounds obvious, but a lot of candidates walk into the test without a clear picture of all 3 tasks, and that really hurts their score. The first writing task is called Build a Sentence. In this task, you'll see 2 sentences. The first sentence is complete and gives you context. The second sentence has all of its words scrambled up. Your job is to put the words in the right order to make a grammatically correct sentence. This task is testing your knowledge of grammar and sentence structure. The second task is write an email. You have 7 minutes to write an email based on a scenario and 3 bullet points. Each bullet point is something specific you need to address in your email. The examiners are looking at whether you've covered all 3 bullet points, how well you use vocabulary and grammar, and whether your email follows the right format and tone. The third task is write for an academic discussion. You have 10 minutes to write at least 100 words, responding to a question in an online class discussion. A professor has posted a question, and 2 other students have already shared their views. Your job is to add your own position and support it with reasons and examples. The examiners are looking at how clearly you express your opinion and how well you support it. They also check how strong your grammar and vocabulary are. Tip number 2 is specifically for the Build a Sentence task, and it's this: focus on mastering common English sentence structures. This task is a direct test of your grammar knowledge. The stronger your understanding of how sentences are put together, the better you'll do. The key is to recognize the patterns that come up most often. Pay attention to how relative clauses are formed and how indirect questions work. You should also know how different sentence types connect ideas. For example, when you see words like which, who, or that, that's usually a signal that a relative clause is part of the answer. Take a look at this example. The scientist who discovered the findings was working late when she published them. The word who connects the relative clause who discovered the findings to the noun it describes, the scientist. When you train yourself to spot these patterns quickly, you can work through the Build a Sentence task confidently and accurately. Here comes tip number 3. Use the right tone in the email task. This matters more than many TOEFL candidates realize. The scoring criteria for the email task specifically looks at whether you followed appropriate social conventions. Tone is a big part of that. Most email scenarios in the TOEFL involve writing to someone in an official capacity. That might be a professor, an event organizer, or a department head. These situations call for a formal or semi-formal tone. Don't write like this: "Hey, I've been having some issues and wanted to check in." Instead, you could write, "I am writing to bring a recent matter to your attention and to kindly request your assistance." That one change in tone tells the examiner that you understand the context you're writing in and that you can adapt your language to fit it. Writing in a tone that's too casual for the situation will cost you points. We'll move on to tip number 4. Vary your sentence structures throughout your response. This applies to both the email task and the academic discussion task, and it has a direct impact on your score. The examiners are specifically looking for syntactic variety. That means they want to see different types of sentences, not just a series of short, simple ones. When every sentence follows the same basic pattern, your writing feels flat. Additionally, the TOEFL examiner can't really assess the depth of your grammar knowledge. What you want to do instead is mix different sentence types. Use compound sentences that connect two related ideas. Use complex sentences with subordinate clauses. Use relative clauses to add information naturally. For instance, don't write like this. The city updated its transit system. It was expensive. People use it more now. It reduced traffic. Instead, you could write, although updating the transit system required significant investment, ridership has increased considerably, which has helped reduce traffic congestion throughout the city. The part which has helped reduce traffic congestion is a relative clause beginning with the relative pronoun which. It refers back to the increase in ridership. That one sentence shows the examiner a much broader range of grammar than 4 short sentences ever could. Now, here is something important. Many TOEFL candidates think that knowing a few writing tips is enough to get a strong result, but it's not enough. To do well in TOEFL writing, you need to understand exactly how the tasks work, what the examiner is looking for, and how to demonstrate those skills in your response. That's exactly what we teach in our TOEFL packages. Our students get step-by-step guidance on how to approach the writing test effectively, so they feel confident and ready on test day. They learn how the writing tasks are designed and what skills they need to write high-scoring responses. Our TOEFL packages include lessons for all tasks, sample answers, mock tests, templates, and much more. If you want expert guidance for your TOEFL preparation, click the link below to learn more. Now, let's continue with tip number 5. Elaborate your ideas fully. This is one of the biggest differences between responses that score low and responses that score high. Both might address the same points. However, one of them actually develops those points and the other just mentions them. In the email task, the prompt tells you directly to write as much as you can. That's not a suggestion. It's guidance from the test itself. The examiners want to see that you can take each bullet point and build it into a complete developed response. For example, if the prompt asks you to explain why you're interested in a particular program, don't write like this. I am interested in this program because it is relevant to my field. Instead, you could write, I am writing to express my strong interest in this program, as it directly aligns with the research I have been conducting over the past 2 years on urban planning strategies. I believe it would provide me with invaluable opportunities to advance my work. As you can see, the second version gives the reader a real reason, with specific context and detail. That level of development is what the TOEFL examiners are looking for, so it can help boost your score. Tip number 6 is to use advanced vocabulary in both your email and your academic discussion post. Vocabulary range is one of the things the examiners are directly evaluating, so the words you choose really do affect your score. A lot of candidates stick to the same simple, basic words throughout their entire response. They use words like good, bad, think, and want again and again. That signals to the examiner that your vocabulary is limited. The fix is to push yourself to use more precise, varied language. For example, don't write, I think this is a good idea. Instead, you could write, I contend that this approach would be highly beneficial. The word content shows that you can express an opinion with confidence and precision. The phrase highly beneficial is more specific and more academic than good. These kinds of word choices add up across your whole response and show the examiners that you have a wide vocabulary range. Let's move on to tip number 7. It's for the write an email task, and it's one that a lot of candidates skip. Read all 3 bullet points carefully before you write a single word. This might seem like a small thing, but it actually makes a big difference. When you read all 3 bullet points first, you can plan how to structure your email before you start. This helps you avoid the most common and most costly mistake in this task: missing a bullet point completely. Many candidates get so focused on the first bullet point that they write too much about it and run out of time for the third. Or they only glance at the bullet points and misunderstand what one of them is actually asking. Both of these things pull your score down. Take a moment at the start to read through all bullet points and think about what each one is asking. Then write your email in a way that gives each point a clear and developed response. Addressing every bullet point completely is one of the most direct ways to protect your score on this task. By the way, if you want this channel to keep going, write yes in the comments, click like, and subscribe. We only make videos that you actually want to watch. Tip number 8 is specifically for the write for an academic discussion task. Take a clear stance. You need to build your entire post around a clear, direct opinion. This task is asking you to take a position, and the examiners want to see that opinion stated clearly and supported well. A lot of candidates try to write about both sides of the argument because they think it sounds more balanced. But this task isn't asking you to be balanced. It's asking you to share your view and support it. If your post doesn't have a clear position, the examiner can't fully assess how well you're developing and defending an argument. State your opinion clearly at the start of your response, then back it up with at least 1 or 2 well-developed reasons or examples. Your ideas don't need to be complicated. They just need to be clear, specific, and connected directly to your position. For example, if the professor asks whether companies should allow employees to work fully remotely, don't just list pros and cons. Instead, take a side. Take a look at this example. I firmly believe that companies should offer full remote work options to their employees. From my perspective, this arrangement would significantly increase productivity, as it allows individuals to design a work environment that suits their personal working style and eliminates time lost to commuting. That response takes a clear position. Companies should offer full remote work options to their employees. The response also gives a specific reason. This arrangement would significantly increase productivity. Moreover, it explains the reason in enough detail to be convincing. It allows individuals to design a work environment that suits their personal working style and eliminates time lost to commuting. Let's move on to tip number 9. Use transitions to connect your ideas smoothly. This is important in both the email and the academic discussion task because the way you move from one idea to the next is part of what makes your writing feel clear and well organized. When you jump from one point to the next without any connecting language, your writing feels choppy and hard to follow. The TOEFL examiner has to work harder to see how your ideas relate to each other, and that's not what a high-scoring response looks like. Good transitions do 2 things at once. They make your writing easier to read, and they also show the examiner that you have a broad range of vocabulary. Use words and phrases like furthermore, in addition, and moreover to move between points smoothly. To introduce a contrasting idea, use words like however, nevertheless, and on the other hand. If you're adding a conclusion or summarizing a point, you can use as a result, consequently, or for this reason. Just make sure you vary the transitions you use. Don't rely on the same one over and over. The more variety you show, the stronger your writing looks to the examiner. Tip number 10 is to always proofread your response before you submit. This is one of the easiest ways to improve your score. Many candidates skip it because they're worried about time, and that's a problem because small errors add up. A missing word, the wrong verb form, or a spelling mistake might seem minor on its own. However, if these errors build up throughout your response, they can affect your score considerably. The examiners are looking at accuracy, and consistent small errors signal that you don't have sufficient language control. Make sure you proofread to avoid errors. Read through your email and check that you've addressed all 3 bullet points. For the academic discussion task, check that your opinion is clearly stated and that your examples actually support the point you're making. Proofreading your response can really make a difference in your score. That's it! Those are 10 essential tips to help you boost your score across all 3 TOEFL writing tasks. If you want expert guidance for your TOEFL preparation, check out our TOEFL packages using the link below. Our packages include step-by-step guidance, mock tests, templates, and other useful resources to help you feel confident on test day. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you're notified when the next video comes out. Also, share this video with your friends so they can improve their TOEFL score too. See you in the next video!